Seems like waking up every day super bright and early is starting to become a habit. I'm not in love with it, but it's okay. Today I am up bright and early, not to go anywhere. We're already here in the beautiful little town of Chicala, but I have to work remotely, and I'm gonna walk you guys through what I do to bring in money to be able to do this kind of stuff, while Kurt's gonna go into town and go check it out and go get us checked in and give Rigby a much needed potty break. Riggs, you can't go this time. We gotta do paperwork first. Good luck with your Spanish.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Don't get us deported. He's gone, Riggs.
First thing I've got to do today is check in. One of the things we have to do as we move from port to port is check into the ports, check out of the ports. And so I'm gonna go visit the port captain. We radioed in and he asked us to bring in the documents. I always hate doing this without Linda because my Spanish is only so-so, but most of these guys speak pretty good English, so I should be all right. So we're gonna go get it done. Well, that went smoothly. I didn't even have to pull out my broken Spanish. The guy spoke pretty good English and he didn't give me any kind of troubles, just asked a few questions and got us checked in. The reason why I was thinking it might be a little more difficult and I might need some Spanish skills is because this was our first check-in after checking out of Nuevo Vallarta. And when we checked out of Nuevo Vallarta, we checked out as Living the Dream 2 because that was the previous name of the boat. And this time we were checking in as La Vida Gypsea. And so my paperwork coming out of Nuevo Vallarta said Living the Dream 2. And of course, all my new paperwork says La Vida Gypsea. And of course he asked about it, but I was able to explain to him that we just purchased the boat, we've just changed the name, and he didn't give me any hassle. So we're in, and we can now explore the town for the rest of the week. Well, we're back in town. I had to get Rigby and come back so that she could take care of her business because she's still being a butt about going to the bathroom on the boat. She does okay, but she's not great at it. She prefers dry land. So I'm gonna give her a treat and let her come into town. We're gonna go scope things out for Linda because she has to spend the day on the computer today. And so I'm gonna go check things out so that when she gets off the computer, we'll know what there is to do later this afternoon. And don't feel too bad. Don't think that I'm making her work while I'm having all the fun. I am getting the opportunity to come into town and check things out, but as soon as we're done here, it's back to the boat for me. And my job is, of course, keeping the boat ship shape, but also I've got to get back to the boat and get on the computer so that I can edit these videos for you guys. So that has been my job lately, is I have been editing, and it takes quite a while. And right now, it's an unpaid job, but we love doing it anyways for you guys. So I'm gonna get busy with that. She's gonna keep teaching her classes, and then once this afternoon hits, it's time for relaxation.
When it comes to living this kind of lifestyle, you have to be a little bit creative and think outside of the box when it's time to think about what you're gonna do to make a living and sustain yourself. There are many options out there for many different people who do this kind of lifestyle, whether you're an expat or whether you're a remote worker traveling all over the world, backpacking, in our case, sailing all around the world. And I'm gonna tell you guys what it is that I do to bring in money to La Vida Gypsea. So one really popular method of making money while working abroad is online tutoring, and that is exactly what I do. I work for a company called Preply, and they do online tutoring all over the world. There are students from all over the world, all walks of life, looking for different kinds of tutoring, whether it's conversational English, whether it's grammar work, whether it's accent work, you name it, there's a niche for it on this platform. And I have been working for this platform for almost a year now. I started working there last year when the COVID pandemic hit, and I was looking for a job to take with me remotely because we knew that the boat life would be end game, and I've been working there since. There are many advantages for working for a company like Preply. Before we continue, I just want to preface that this is not a paid sponsorship. We are not advertising, nor have we been asked, or is there an affiliate program with this platform. It just sounds like I'm pushing it a lot because I happen to work there, so I have a lot of information that I want to share with you guys, and this is strictly just educational and some advice for you guys. If you want to check it out, absolutely feel free to do so. But there are many other companies that are online tutoring platforms and many other ways of making money online. I'm just giving you guys advice on what I know best and what I personally do myself. There are many advantages for working for a company like Preply, but for me, the reason I like working for them so much is 100% the flexibility. I can choose the times that I want to work. If I want to work on the weekends, I can set up a schedule to do so. If I want to work during the weekdays, I can also set up a schedule to do so as well. And the reason for that is because there are students from all over the world from different time zones all the time, and Preply facilitates these students to come to you. Because of this, you can set up any time, any work schedule that you want. The catch is once you set up this time, it's pretty important to stay consistent on this because these students want consistency and you want to build that relationship. So how much money can you make while working for a company like Preply? Well, you actually get to decide. The pay is based on your experience and your background. Beginner tutors who are just there to do conversational English can start at $10 an hour, and I've seen professionals who work and focus on specific niches, you know, accent work, things like that, for up to $50 an hour. So Preply lets you set your own rate based on what you think you are worth. On average, the average tutor with a bilingual education background, a TESOL certification, a TOEFL certification, if you're familiar with any of those terms, they make about $20, $25 an hour. And that's kind of where I sit. One thing to keep in mind when you are deciding and determining how much you want to charge is the economics basics of supply and demand. If you want a lot of students to come in and you're trying to fill up your schedule, you're going to want to start your pay scale pretty low so that you have something competitive to attract students while they're looking through the profiles of all the other tutors. But once you get a nice amount of students and you've got a full schedule, then you raise your amount a little bit to slow down the traffic of the people coming in. Sometimes I've put my rate to like $30, $40 an hour to try to slow the traffic down, and even then I'll catch a fish and somebody will book lessons with me and I'm like, awesome! So then we've got express a highlight improbability. Use must have, mustn't have, make a sentence, blah, blah, blah. So then Helen didn't come to the party, so you say she must have forgotten about it. That's correct. So you have this job that has fantastic flexibility. You set your rate to what you want it to be and you're making gobs of cash. And now you're wondering, how do I get paid? I've made all this money. Where do I get paid? If you are a remote nomadic worker like I am, we don't have addresses. I don't have an address. I don't have anywhere that a check can get sent to. But do not fret because Preply's got you covered on that as well. They pay through PayPal. So once your students take their lessons, the money gets deposited into your little account in Preply. You just push the little button on Preply and connect it and link it to your PayPal account, and the money gets sent to your PayPal account immediately. You don't have to wait a week like some other platforms. You don't have to fill in anything. You just push the button and the money goes straight to your PayPal account. One last little thing that I think is pretty cool working for this platform in the lifestyle that I live is that I get to show my students every day where I am in the world, and they get to experience a different take on things with me, just like you guys get to do by watching our episodes here. And I get great joy, you know, turning the computer over and showing them when I'm in a different town or if I'm in a different anchorage. And many of my students live in very cold places. I have students from Russia, I have students in Germany, and they live vicariously through me, and they love it when I show them those kinds of things. And I think that that gives me a great advantage on the platform as well, because there are many tutors on this platform, and there are not many tutors that have a sailboat and travel all over the world that get to show their students how awesome traveling and experience this life can truly be. So what are the disadvantages for working for Preply? Well, there aren't many disadvantages for working for the company itself. There's just the number one disadvantage that I'm sure you already know what's coming, and that's internet access, right? In order to work any remote job online, you need internet. And as cruisers and travelers and nomads, we know how difficult that can be. And even though we're all waiting for Starlink to make the magical change for us to be able to have more consistent internet, that's not gonna happen anytime soon, and we need food now. So what we have been doing in Mexico while we've been cruising is we found a reliable cell phone service, and we bought SIM cards and we put them on 2 cell phones, and I use these SIM cards on these phones to connect to my hotspot on my computer, and it's been working fantastic. The service is clear, it's consistent, I don't have any issues with any of the videos. Mind you, these classes are an hour long, and I teach full time, so sometimes I'm teaching 8 hours a day, and I've been pretty fortunate that I have not had any signal disconnection or anything with these things. But you want to make sure that wherever you are and whatever country you're in, if you are going to choose this route, do your research and find the most reliable cell phone company so that you can have a similar outcome as me. Another alternative that you can do if you specifically are a cruiser and you're trying to find out where to find internet to work is you can live in a marina. You can use their Wi-Fi, or there are many marinas nowadays that allow you to just plug in straight from their landline into your router, and the internet is pretty good. Or you can get a Wi-Fi extender. You put that on top of your boat and it reaches to the mainland, finds the closest Wi-Fi. You gotta go to shore, buy a cup of coffee, get their password, come back, plug it in, and work. But right now, just for financial reasons and things like that, we're not choosing that route, because Wi-Fi extenders, even though are quite reliable and a lot of cruisers use it, it's a little pricey, and we just got this boat, so we've got a lot of expenses. So for now, cell phones are my best friend. I could probably go on and on and on about online teaching, working remotely, and all of the things that entail this whole lifestyle. But I'm actually doing this interview during my lunch break, and I've only got a couple minutes left before my classes start up again. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave the link to Preply down below in the description box. But if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to shoot me a message, leave some comments down below. I would love to help you guys out, because it can be done. You can absolutely travel and work and have some money in the bank to do all of the fun things that you want, and I'm living proof of that. So with that being said, I'm gonna get to work so that I can have a little bit of fun as soon as I'm done. Hey Riggs, I'm getting kind of tired. You think you could maybe take over for me and teach some classes? Yeah? You got this? Perfect.
All right, so me and Rigby have had our fun. We've explored the beach. She got her business taken care of, so she feels better. Then we took a quick swim to cool off, and now I'm back at it. So here is my workspace. I get to sit down here in the owner's quarters and work on the computer. Luckily, I've got a spacious enough boat that I'm able to get a nice big screen so I don't have to squint at a laptop. But it does get a little claustrophobic down here after you spend a number of hours. So when I start getting claustrophobic, I just take a nice little look out my window here, and I am able to see a beautiful beach. Dream of the time when I get to go back out there later this afternoon. And the only other drawback to working down here in the hull of the ship is that if you're in a rolly anchorage like we're in here, then you do tend to get a little woozy, little seasick after a while. So every now and then you have to go back up, get some fresh air, take a look at the horizon, get your bearings, and then come back down here and get back to work. This is my real job. It's not about editing videos. It's about pumping up the paddleboard for Linda.
Aww.
Rigby hates the squeak. It drives her nuts.
Thank you for filling up this board for me. Now that the day is done, it is time for me to have some fun. Best part of working remotely on a boat is that as soon as I'm done with my job, I get to go out and have some fun.
Sit.
Sit. Okay, Whitney. There's nothing like seeing your boat behind you and just relaxing, away from the noise, away from the husbands, away from work, and just having a nice, tranquil, peaceful moment to myself. This is truly where I am happiest.
So until our YouTube channel grows, we are still not making any money on that thing. So we are relying heavily on Linda's work that she does on Preply. And I really appreciate all the work she does. She does so much to help us out and keep our financial stresses to a minimum.
Aww.
And hopefully this inspires you and gives you some ideas of what you can do to live this cruising lifestyle and make some income while you're out on the seas.
Yeah, well, thank you for everything you do, and thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for being part of our journey, and be sure that you guys catch us next week. In the meantime, like it, comment it, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to it. And we'll see you guys next time.
See you.